And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn, we have the red Protoss player, the Polish Protoss player, representing Sidestorm Gaming. It is Gerald. And spawning in the top left. Oh, they're talking about Snogstar. We'll get a translation soon. In the top left-hand corner, we have the blue Protoss player representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. I'm curious, what was said?
So basically, Gerald
said
said nice guys versus Snogstar, and Krystianer is like, I played like a noob.
I mean, true.
They also call him the Polish Sarah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that next to a Polish Sarah, everybody looks like a noob.
It's very true. It's very true. I mean, you know, I held back a little bit, but Snogstar, he is basically Cyril, essentially, just only from Poland. Alays got some catching up to do, but oh my god. Again, it was a great series, a really difficult series to follow, and we'll see where we go. Gerald, I think we all know where this is headed. We've casted Gerald many times here in PvPs, and at least once in a series, we need to see a proxy Stargate. He's going to be, hiding the probe here in the tall grass. You love to see it. Second pylon is going to be hidden here, missing from the eyes of Krystianer, and the pylon is thrown down, but we are going to be leaving it alone here. So just a fake proxy pylon for the time being. Gerald looks like he isn't going for a proxy Stargate. Not yet. I imagine that's going to happen at some point this series. Gerald, for whatever reason, he's very fond of proxy Stargate in PvP. But for now, I love it. He's just going, he's like going from tall grass to tall grass. You can't find him. I love it. Keeping that probe hidden out on the map. We do have our 2 gate openers from both players. Krystianer has his second pylon in his main. He's looking for the proxy, by the way. Gerald has that reputation, and Krystianer is looking for it, but alas, he will not come across the pylon itself. It's going to be double Stalker against double Adept. Gerald's going to be going for a more aggressive start here, looking for some economic damage. Krystianer, a much more solid opener, looking to shut down the probes. Shut down whatever comes his way. The pylon is going to be cancelled, and Nexus is thrown down. And we're hoping to chase down this probe, making sure that there is no pylon in the main base, not like earlier today. As Gerald, his tech of choice is going to be a Twilight Council. It's going to be a Twilight Council before Nexus, so a delayed expansion here from Gerald. Going to be threatening a Shade into the main, but we throw down the pylon, we wall off, the Shade doesn't get in. So again, the goal is for Gerald to just continue to test the wall over and over again. Make sure that Krystianer is on point with that pylon block. Again, Krystianer, he has a slightly faster economy and a later blink. So similar builds overall. Krystianer, just a better economy. Gerald with the better tech, or the faster tech. Oof, as we do commit to the Shade, getting the hell out of there, avoiding those Stalkers. Blink on the way for both players. We had a sentry follow-up here from Krystianer, and he's going for that hallucination scout across the map. And with that, we actually do come across the pylon. It has been spotted, has been scouted. Krystianer getting into the main. He does confirm the faster Twilight Council, sees that it is researching, and he should come across the Nexus, or at least sees the long distance mining. So he's aware that the base has been taken, and slightly later than his own. So Krystianer, he should be aware that Gerald will have a small window where he has blink, and Krystianer doesn't. So Krystianer has to be wary of that. But it's only a couple of seconds. It's not the biggest timing, not the biggest window. So once again, we do throw down that wall. Gerald taking a slight work early. Looks like one of the Adepts is finally going to go down. Oof, both Adepts do get hunted down here. Nice movement out of Krystianer. Gerald going for a faster third base behind this. Okay. Do love to see it. Doubling down with a faster third. Krystianer a little bit later, but again, not by too long, not by too much. As Krystianer did see that pylon earlier, and I'm sure he wants to try to shut it down as well. Just in my vision, and my scouting. and potentially supply block Gerald. So pylon will fall. Stalkers are getting in position. Blink is done for the red Protoss, and Blink is soon to finish for the blue. As we recall back home. Again, Gerald he was hoping to catch Krystianer out of position, but he does recall. Hallucination Scout is going to come across the Stalkers. Krystianer in position. Oof. Doesn't quite get a Stalker. Good blinks out of Gerald. Does evacuate. Does get the hell out of there just in time. Back at home, we're getting into Immortal production. Forges are on the way for both players. I believe there is a robo from Krystianer, but he's focusing on observers. Just getting some map vision. Make sure he has detection just in case. Krystianer, he is pushing. Looking at the unit type, Krystianer, he is slightly ahead in Stalkers, but Gerald makes up for that with Sentries and the Immortal as well. We dive in. Oh, the Force feels though they're going to punish this. Stalkers are going down for both players, but this Immortal is doing so much damage in the back line. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, Krystianer bleeding out a lot more than his opponent. Oof. Forced to back off. And just like that, in one swift move, Gerald, he evens up the Stalker count. And comes across a couple of Adepts as well. He's being dragged out of position. Does go for the blink, and that means that Krystianer can go right for the third base, but what can he get here? There are some Stalkers in position, and he does have to back off. Gerald, he's looking for the army. He wants to try to cut Krystianer off. And there's no way out from here. He's being cornered. Stalker's going to be going down. This is going to be a big loss here for Krystianer. As he does bypass the army, he runs into another Immortal. Oof. Losing another Stalker. Behind this, we got a fourth base on the way. Adepts a shade into the third. We have a couple of units in position. And once again, Gerald, he catches out these Stalkers. They can't get home. They just want to go home. Ay, ay, ay. Yeah, as we are going to be committing. Stalker's trying to come in from behind. A pseudo surround being set up, but Krystianer, he is behind in army supply. Yeah, being forced to recall, and he will barely escape. Just in time. Those Stalkers, they went on a journey. They went all around the map, being chased down, trying to avoid disaster, and some of them do escape at least. But overall, better trades from Gerald. As we're getting into our fourth bases. Charge on the way, +2 starting up here for Krystianer. +2 delayed for Gerald, instead of going for a gateway explosion. And both players should soon be active. With the arrival of these Warp Prisms, we can move out across the map, we can reinforce, we can harass. When it comes to the army compositions themselves, I still need to give the edge to Gerald with 3 Immortals now. In a head-to-head fight, Stalker v Stalker, Gerald will win. But that's also why it's important to bear in mind that Krystianer is supplementing this army with charge lots. Their goal is to tank those Immortal shots. Be a bit of a buffer zone for his own Stalkers. But again, we do have Zealots as well from Gerald. Gerald just strictly ahead in army supply. Just because of the early game, because of the trades. Here we go, we do have a Prism coming in towards the natural. The armies are going to be clashing. Big warping into the main base. Oh my god! Zealots at the third, no mining at the natural, and we could even push forward towards the fourth. Oh, some awkward SimCity though, working against Krystianer. He is getting a couple of workers, overcharges popped. The main army of Gerald does zone Krystianer away. But probes are going down, we go for another big warp in. Oh my god. Another massive warp in. Meanwhile, Gerald, he's waiting. He's waiting for the army, does clean up some Zealots, but probes are going down. Yeah, these Zealots are wreaking havoc. 24 and counting. 30, over 30 workers are going down, and Gerald, he's got to go. He just has to commit. He's all in. Gerald is forced suddenly completely all in. And Krystianer, he just has to survive. Easier said than done. It all comes down to this one big push. Overcharge is popped. Zealots are closing the distance, and we have 3 Immortals in the back line. Shield battery is going to go down. Overcharge runs out. And we have to give up on this base. The pylon! Oh, and Artosis pylon, it gets... the warping gets denied. do have an extra warp in though, and Gerald, he's running out of steam. The Immortals, they're exposed. Yeah, we're closing the distance, and Gerald, he's running out of units, running out of army. The Immortals are going down. We're down to 2. So we get another warp in of Zealots. Boys are being pulled. And Krystianer, he has too much. He was behind. He was having a rough time this game. But GG gets called, and Krystianer takes game number 1. GG. Oh my god. The Zealot warp-ins were the MVP, just pulling Geralt apart in every single base, in the natural, the third base, and the main, and in the main base especially. The constant Zealot warp-ins were not stopped. And just like that, in one fell swoop, Geralt, his economy was crippled, and he was forced into that all-in, into the hands of Krystianer. Oh, GG. And with that, Krystianer does have a lead in this series, but it's a best of 3. It is still a best of 3. Geralt, he can come back. He can bounce back in game 2. He can try. See if he can pull it off. As we're going to be loading in to hard lead. I see what you did there. Basically, a better and more well-polished version of Cyril. Oh. You're an animal, I thought. That was awful. Oh, God. See, Steel Mold, he may not have casted on the CranKy Ducklings for quite some time, but his spirit is very much so in the chat. Shaking my head. We're getting into game 2. And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Hard Lead, we have the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Storm Gaming. Down in the series, it is Geralt. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the blue Protoss player from the land of Poland, representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer.
Game paused.
As we are going to be getting a bit of a pause. Hopefully everything is okay, whether it's latency issues or maybe Uber Eats is at the door and we got to get some food. I don't blame him. Don't blame him. Food is important. And still, again, a little bit too early to really determine how this series will progress, but here we go. Looks like the door has been answered. The food has been collected, and we're getting back into the game. And so far, we're setting up for a 2-gate opener. 2 gateways on the high ground for both Krystianer and Geralt as well. But we are loading into Hard Lead. Hard Lead, a very short rush distance by ground. Very short rush distance by ground. Well, the shortest rush distance by ground map in the map pool. And yeah, as a result, we have seen a lot of aggressive styles on this map. A lot of aggression, a lot of proxies, a lot of all-ins. Curious if either player does take the bait, or if we get into a standard opener instead. The gateways are thrown down. Geralt, we mentioned before, he's been very fond of going for a proxy Stargate play in this matchup. He faked out a proxy in game 1. Here in game 2, I'm curious if he will do the same, or this time commit. My eyes are on this probe, as we are moving out towards the right-hand side of the map. Likewise, Krystianer coming in for a scout, and he should recognize that, oh, actually, the second pylon is in the main. Okay. Interesting. That makes this probe that much more interesting. So we have the second pylon in the main. Everything looks normal. Everything looks as it should. And we're gonna... Okay, I was like, are we going to throw down an extra pylon? No, we're scouting. Okay. We do just skirt the edge of the map here, but we are going to be committing to the scout. And we have a double adept opener out of Krystianer. Double stalker out of Geralt. So the turns of table. If you remember, in the last game, Geralt was the one who was harassing and trying to be aggressive with adepts, and wasn't able to find too much success early on. Later on, he did kill workers. Did kill quite a number of probes, and he got himself ahead. And Krystianer is looking to do the same. He's doubling down, though. He's making 2 more adepts, and I wouldn't be surprised if he makes 2 more after this as well. Doubling down on adept aggression. Meanwhile, this pylon, is gonna be quite a nuisance here. Probe does fall, but this will delay the expansion. Krystianer already past 400 up to 500 minerals. Oh, up to 600 even, so a big delay here for this Nexus. And yep, there we go. We have 2, 4, soon to be 6 adepts. So the way this works, 2 adepts one-shot workers. This is true. But they also get denied by pylon blocks. That is until you amass an even greater amount of adepts. The goal here is to shade towards this ramp, and even if we have a pylon or a shield battery to block the wall, with enough adepts, you can DPS through that wall and actually bust into the base anyway and get into the mineral line. This is where you do require enough room to throw down a gateway. There we go. Just like this. To throw down a gateway instead and have a full wall off, as Gerald is pushing out with his stalkers. That is going to be our 7th and 8th adept now moving out. As Krystianer moves out, Gerald is getting ready to push in. No. Again, Gerald just constantly throwing down that full wall off of gateways, making sure he's safe and sound. Meanwhile, Krystianer does go for a robo follow-up. Now, as soon as these adepts reveal themselves, that is when Gerald pushes in. Oh, we threaten the shade, and again, we have a gateway wall. We cannot push into that. There it is. We do force the move out. The adepts have to recall back home, and we do get 3 worker kills before getting the hell out of there. Good amount of damage is done. Gerald's now ahead in the economy, killing 3 probes for free, essentially. And now we have to move out. Now we have to move back out again. Prism is on the way. I love this Warp Prism. So this is a way to bypass the wall. It's to get around this ramp and to go straight into the main base instead. And so far, Gerald hasn't scouted. He hasn't seen the main. No sentry. Or he does have a sentry, but no hallucination yet. Not yet. As we commit to the shade, we go straight for the mineral line. 2 workers go down, but only 2. We go for the sentry. Sentry will fall, which means no scout of the main base of Krystianer. He will lose half of his adepts, but the other half make it out. And we can meet up with the War Prism. There we go. Just enough to fill up that War Prism, going straight for the main base. And because the sentry died, because it got focused down, Gerald doesn't really know what's coming his way. He doesn't know what the opener was or what the follow-up was either. Gerald's getting up towards Blink. Blink is about to finish. Additional gateways as well. Oh, and he doesn't see. He doesn't know adepts. They do make their way towards the main. So far, good SimCity. Only 1 probe goes down. But I spoke too soon. As we get 2 adepts in both mineral lines, in the natural and the main base, and we focus down so many probes. It's going to be 11 dead workers, up to 12. Not quite 13, but 12 dead workers for 4 adepts. Again, a worthwhile trade. Behind this, Krystianer going into a Dark Shrine. We already have an Observer on the way, so DTs aren't going to be amazing, but Krystianer has a massive worker lead. He's got 43 probes against the 30 of his opponent. Now, Krystianer, he knows that he's behind in the Stalker count. He also knows he's behind in the Blink timing as well, which is why we have Immortals. We have 2 Immortals. We have a Hallucinated Immortal as well, just to try to defend, try to survive against the counter-attack of his opponent. Stalkers are pushing in. At the same time, DT's right into the... Oh my god! They are spotted. We have detection. The DTs will be dealt with. Again, good blinks. 1 DT goes down and the other should be falling soon thereafter. For 1 probe, not worth it. A risky maneuver from Krystianer did not pay for itself. As Gerald is still focusing on his push. Again, he's got 16 Stalkers at the 6 of his opponents. Oh, doesn't quite get the sentry. 3rd bases are on the way. Gerald's his is already done. And he wants the sentry. Wants whatever he can get. Alas, won't get anything. Barely doesn't one-shot. Krystianer finishing up his own blink. Still just getting into his 3-base saturation. Charge is on the way for Gerald. Krystianer, he avoids charge, and he's just still staying on Blink Stalkers and Immortals. Again, interesting choice. But there it is. Now charge is on the way. Am I crazy? Did I see... Okay, I'm crazy. I was like, I swear I saw +1 on the way. +1 is on the way for Krystianer Adepts, continuing to threaten Shays into the natural base. We get one. Oof. One probe. And not worth it once again. Gerald, he's slowly catching up. He has a larger army. Krystianer working on a 4th base. He isn't taking his gases, bear that in mind. Krystianer, he's going for a big kind of zealot supportive army instead. But charge is still lacking. And Gerald is going to push. He has his War Prism. He has his own charge. Another important thing to bear in mind, no Forge. There's no Forge here from Gerald. He's throwing down 3 more gateways. It's looking like a 3-base all-in. Dark Shrine. Dark Shrine and a Robotics Bay on the way. Interesting. Okay. You see Gerald pushing out. But he is taking up behind this. He may not be focusing on Forge upgrades, that's true. But he will have access to Disruptors. As his army is going to be spotted. Gerald getting in position, recalling his Prism. Still not fully aware where the army is coming from. Is going to be spotted. We do have a couple of Archons. Alright, the DTs. Dark Templar are being morphed in. We have a War Prism threatening the main base. Gerald now taking his 4th. And he's going to be rotating around towards the center of the map. Hoping to distract Krystianer. Keeping his attention here on the front lines. And there's nothing to spot this. Okay, we saw how well the Zealots performed for Krystianer in that last game. Gerald, he does pull the trigger. Dark Shrine is done. Do we have cannons? Oh, we do. Dark Templar on the way. Cannons are in position. We do defend the main. Instead, the DCs, they go for the production, but alas, we have an observer. We shut this down. Krystianer holds. Behind this, Gerald, he's going for that Disruptor. Second Robo as well. Double Disruptor production on the way. So, army-wise, Gerald, he's actually surpassing Krystianer. He's taking up even further. Skipping Archons, skipping Immortals, going straight for Disruptors. It's a risky thing to do, but he's getting away with it. Prism was recalled back home. We're going for a big warping of Zealots. The Disruptors, they haven't been seen until now. Oh! First Nova goes off. We have one more. One more Nova in the chamber. Good force fields are thrown down, cutting off the army. But the Archons, a breakthrough. We're going straight for the base. Nexus is going to go down. Again, force fields are being broken. Another base gets thrown down immediately. We dive on the Prism. We deny the warp in. Big Novas here on the Immortals as well. But there may just be too much. Reinforcements come in from behind. And Krystianer, he's breaking through. But we have more Disruptors. And we have reinforcements. Up! Oh my god. Novas go off. Archons and Zealots should be shut down. Krystianer, he's running out of steam. Ay, ay, ay. He's slowly running out of steam, but we have more Zealot reinforcements coming in from across the map. He's getting on top of the Disruptors. One after the other. There's 2 left. There's 1 left. But we don't have detection. The DTs, the Dark Templar, they hold. Gerald, he barely holds on, but he lost so much here in this fight. Krystianer trading so well. Observers should be on the way. But they're not. There's no observer, actually. But the DTs that were morphed into Archons. Another Disruptor comes out. Will go down. And it looks like Krystianer, he has too much. And in a turn of events, I was favoring Gerald. Coming into the series, I was favoring Gerald 100%. GG gets called. And Krystianer will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. I don't know what was said. I hope it was PG-13. But regardless, congratulations, Krystianer. He does take the 2-0, advancing on, shutting Gerald down. Again, I want to say that Gerald, he's the stronger, well-rounded player when it comes to his PvT and PvZ. Gerald, he's strong, but here in the PvPs, anything can happen. It can be very unpredictable, and Krystianer, he's the stronger player on the day. He takes the 2-0, and he advances on.